Hi, thank you for allowing me to do a self-evaluation on my soft skills. This allowed me the ability to critique myself and really think about what I steps I could take to improve my soft skills and be a better asset to the agency. We're going to begin today with communication. I gave myself a 4 with this. I do believe that throughout the last couple years, my ability to communicate both verbally and written has improved immensely. Some of that is due to the fact that I have taken a couple college classes to improve my writing and speaking abilities. Um, I, you've had to provide little, if any, feedback for verification reports that I had to send to the district office. There have been no issues with any non-compliances or weekly meetings or memorandum of interview that I have had to write. Um, so I really do think that I have continued to show improvement with that and will continue to try to improve my communication. I keep you updated with any issues that may be arising within the facility or even as far as labor management relations go. The next skill is critical thinking. I think again, I am at a 4 here. I do a great job with problem solving, researching issues that come up within the circuit, and finding ways to address staffing shortages and problems with sampling and other issues that we haven't seen yet. Um, I am very inquisitive and enjoy finding out the answers to problems that we've never seen before and finding new solutions when issues arise. I have take great pride in the fact that people come to me when they don't know what to do or how to respond in certain situations. And for my role in leadership, I'm going to again give myself a 4. I do think that I take an active leadership role in the circuit. As I said earlier, providing different trainings, mentoring new employees, or even employees that have been here for some time. I encourage everyone to return to school, to try to apply for promotion positions when they arise, and pass on any information that I receive from trainings or policy as it comes to me. I've taken several classes throughout the last few years, both through the agency in college and through my role as in the union, to improve my leadership skills, to become an active listener, to learn how to deal with conflict management, and really try to improve my own ability. Um, if you recall, we did have some issues when you first became the supervisor here, and we have worked past them and worked through that. So I'm trying to make sure that people understand that when I am trying to be assertive, it is not aggression, um, and that it doesn't read the wrong way. Um, and since you first came, we haven't had any issues with our ability to communicate with one another, and even in our sometimes competing roles. Me as the union president and you as the supervisor, we've been able to work well together and listen and hear one another's points of view. For positive attitude, this might surprise you, but I'm going to give myself a 3 here. And quite frankly, that's because over the past couple of years, I think in part due to the restraints that COVID caused and the staffing shortages and the additional problems, I haven't been as positive as I normally am. And while I might not let this show to most people, including yourself, this is something that I continue to struggle with, and I never wanted to impact my work performance. So through my own research, and as a matter of fact, through one of the classes that I took in school, I learned about burnout and steps that I can take to ensure that I am getting the balance that I need, and I take time to reset, refocus, and re energize in order to continue being as productive as possible. Um, I do think that some of my issues right now have been to the lack of being able to take time off and, the additional issues that COVID put on us. So I am taking active steps to try to um, get my head and get my mind space back to where it needs to be, to ensure that I don't let any negative thoughts influence me or affect my job performance. The next skill is teamwork, and I am going to have to give myself a 5 for teamwork. As you know, I am always the first person that is willing to step up whenever we have a staffing shortage, to double up and cover another position, or to go cover import, slaughter, whatever you need me. I will always be the first person to volunteer. I would never ask any other inspector to do anything that I wouldn't be willing to do myself. Um, and I really try to get us to work together in a cohesive manner and be a team, even though most of us are spread out and we don't necessarily see one another. Whenever anyone gets a promotion or anything good happens, I always try to recognize that person and have a party if they're going to leave, or they get a promotion, to recognize people's achievements and celebrate each other and one another. Um, so in that respect, I got to give myself a 5. I provide additional support to inspectors whenever they have a question. People always know that they can count on me and depend on me, and I will do everything within my power to help them. I know sometimes you've said to me that it bothers you that people don't come to me or come to you like they do me, but that makes me very proud that people feel like they can depend on me and rely on me to give them the answer without having to bother you for everything all the time. So I appreciate the fact that they know that I will listen to whatever issue or problem they have with empathy and do everything I can to help resolve it. For work ethic, I have to give myself a 5 again. And as you notice, the only other thing I gave myself a 5 for is teamwork. Um, but I really do think that I am hardest on myself, and I will always do my utmost to go above and beyond what is expected of me. Um, I'm very self motivated, and I have never missed a deadline for you, and I actually try to do everything in my power to get whatever you need before the deadline. That way you can review the material if needed prior to submission, to make sure that you don't need me to make any revisions. Um, so, hands down, I am reliable, dependable. If you ever need anything, I am who you can call. When you've had issues in the past with staffing or determining the workloads for assignments, I've always come through and tried to help you, and tried to work with you to get some sort of agreement, um, and do what's best for the circuit. I volunteer for new trainings, for any new job that we're going to have. I always want to be someone who continues to learn, to continue to excel. I've participated in the creation of new import training, and I've done several other things in my role for the union to help improve conditions for inspectors and supervisors. I think we can both agree that in our line of work, ethics is very important. It is an integral part of our job, and I give myself a 5 for ethics. Um, I make it a point not to take anything from a facility. And I know that, we can take little cup coffee but I make it a point not to take anything. Um, just so I can have that blanket rule. So there's never any confusion on what is acceptable for me to take or what it isn't. Um, while I am friendly and cordial with the facilities and do everything that I can to help them from a regulatory point of view, um, get whatever guidance or trainings they need. I make sure that I keep my relationships with plant employees professional and do not get into any personal relationships with anyone at the facility. Everything is strictly business because once you cross that line, it's hard to remain in your role as a regulatory official. So I make sure that I do keep a very strict line between those two things. Safety is another very important issue in our jobs. And for safety, I give myself as a 4. I think there's always something else for me to learn as far as safety goes. There's a lot of OSHA rules and regulations that I could always continue to learn and read up on. And I will continue to try to improve myself from that point of view. I was an active participant in the safety committee for several years before relinquishing that duty for someone else. I do think that's a good educational experience for inspectors to have. And so I try to rotate the people who are on the safety committee to make sure that everyone gets that experience and they understand how important safety is for us. I always make sure that I wear whatever safety gear is needed while I'm performing my job duties, whether it's just my hard hat and safety boots, eye protection, ear protection. I make sure lockout, tagout is performed before inspecting equipment. And most recently, due to the COVID pandemic, I made sure that employees are properly wearing face masks and, when needed, face shields. Again, I appreciate you allowing me to compose this video to discuss my view on my soft skills and anything else that you think that I could do to improve my soft skills. I appreciate any feedback that you may have from me. Thank you for your time.